So what's going on in your business, John? How's everything going? What are you focused on?
I am focusing on Zwillow. Contacting, and then I've got a VA which I'm dropping this week.
It's hard to figure out a way to keep a VA earning for, the amount of time, unless you can set up something where they're actually only working for a couple of hours or on call type of thing. It
Right,
becomes really difficult until you start putting in some very serious numbers.
right, and that's the problem I have. I just lost 60,000 in income two
Mm.
3 weeks ago, so not
You
able to afford her.
you lost 60,000?
Yeah,
Wow. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, I mean, you don't have to tell me. Obviously, it's personal.
I lost my job.
Oh, okay. Did they close down because of COVID?
No, I can't do my job because I haven't been able to get my arm fixed.
Oh,
Therefore, I'm in too much pain to actually even do the work.
oh, wow, man. So
So
sorry
it's
to hear that.
yeah. So it's like, well, all right, let's focus on what I want to do. Forget this and move on.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, let's hopefully we can find a way to get you on track and start, getting some deals. Have you been participating with Mark and his calling lab and stuff?
No, I've been trying to get on there. I've attempted to join at different times, different days. I'm assuming it's around 11 o'clock because he says from the videos, the YouTubes I've watched, 8 o'clock
Are
a.m.
you on the East Coast?
Yes,
Okay, yeah. So 11 o'clock it's 8 o'clock my time.
right. Is there a different password for that?
No, same channel.
Is it?
Same.
Okay.
Whatever you did to get in here is the same thing you do to get on his.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Had a note for, and does he do that every day or specific days or just some days and not others?
I believe he does it almost every day. Let me look at my calendar. And I
Yeah,
know that there's a
it's
schedule.
every day at 11, and it's at 9 on Saturdays.
Oh, okay. There you go. So Jason knows the schedule.
And
What's
that's
going
all.
on,
And
Jason? How
I'm
you
just
doing,
saying
bud?
all East. Good, good. Hey, how you doing, Victor? Good to see you.
Likewise, man. I'm doing well, thanks. Got some stuff hemmed up as far as closings. Has anybody had any issues with closings? Like, having problems? So mine has turned into a title issue where nobody seems to be showing up for work. It's in the Midwest. I think the Midwest has taken on the attitude of the Europeans, right? They live to work to live, not live to work. So they'll not even show up, and it's just like, are you kidding me? We're supposed to close Tuesday of last week. We're still not closed, and you're telling me about how you're going to check with somebody else today? Like,
Wow.
stop it, bro. So, we're dealing with that.
And we thought title companies were in business to make money.
I'm not able to hear your
Work.
microphone is going in and out. It sounds kind of like it's it sounds like it's kind of your
Okay.
internet. Let's see. All right. Anybody got any particular situations that they had this week that they would maybe like to go over? Maybe a situation with a seller, a buyer, a private lender, conversation that they would have liked to have gone better for them, or have something coming up and they don't know exactly what to say.
Oh, Victor?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Is that Aaron?
It is. It is.
How you doing, my friend?
Wonderful, wonderful. How about you?
I'm good.
Good. Anyway, my situation is I got two properties with a wholesaler. It's like a joint venture we're doing. And actually, the gentleman has 7 properties. All of them are in bankruptcy. With the seller has them all in bankruptcy. We thought that the 2 that we have set up with the title company wasn't in the bankruptcy. So we know she owns those free and clear. So we thought that wasn't tied up with the bankruptcy. But come to find out when they ran the title search that they're tied up with the bankruptcy as well. So now it's a Chapter 13. So now the issue is, from what I'm understanding, we may have to go through the trustee
Okay.
to get the sale to actually happen. So the seller is saying that it hasn't been turned over to the bank. She's saying she still owns them. That's what she's saying. And she said her auntie is looking into this intensely, and this is what she came up with. She still owns the properties. Now I don't know how that is, because I thought normally when you file a Chapter 13, you no longer own them. You know, once they have it in bankruptcy and it's in place. But she claims she still owns them. And what she was trying to go ahead.
A lot of times what happens is when you do a chapter bankruptcy, it's a Chapter 13, I should say, it's restructuring of debt. So you don't necessarily lose your property on that. And if you do a Chapter 7, you could keep the property outside of the settlement for the purposes of paying off the other creditors and doing what it is you need to do. So it's not out of the question that she retained the property. And sometimes it's just you got a real slick attorney, and it might just be an oversight or something. But it's not completely out the question that she has the property still. But you have to make sure that she has the ability to actually act on the property. In other words, she has court permission to actually sell the property or refinance the property or whatever else she's going to do.
Okay, now, in order to find that out, I would have to get an authorization to release information to talk to the trustee, or how do I do that? Because
either have her do it or you get authorization. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm scared she's going to take her time doing it, and we're trying to close them in 30 days. And I've been told that it's going to be a long, drawn-out thing because it's in bankruptcy.
Yeah, it could be long and drawn out. You're probably just a few questions away from finding out the status of it, and they might actually be a follow-up for down the road for you. Just stay in touch with them and keep them in your Rolodex. Make sure that you're touching base with them on a consistent basis, and let them know how you can help them.
Okay, because I already got a buyer that wants to buy all of them, all 7 of them.
You have a buyer already.
Yeah, I already got him lined up with the 2, but because he thought those wasn't in bankruptcy, so he was going to buy the 2 and then come back for the other 4.
Is there an attorney involved?
Yes, there is an attorney involved.
Have you spoken to the attorney at all?
Not yet.
Okay, so what I would probably do is I would start with the attorney and ask the attorney what the situation is with the properties in terms of them being able to liquidate, right?
Okay.
They'll typically tell you, exactly
what
what's going on, especially if they want to fund their transaction. They're greedy, so obviously you're always going to speak to their greed. And
right.
if there's some monies that need to be paid out of this, and you have a way to get them paid out, guess who they're going to love?
Me.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So that's where I would start, is with them, because oftentimes the people involved, they may only be so sophisticated in terms of understanding how to maneuver in this environment. Like, they might not even be sure why they did a 13 instead of a 7. Like, in my mind, you have to have a reason to do a 13 rather than a 7, right? Because 7 basically gives you a brand new, fresh start, while a 13 only restructures your debt. The advantage being is that the 13, I believe, only stays on your credit history for 7 years, while the 7 stays on there for 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, but the attorney is the person that you would want to talk to first and find out, look, you know, am I able to do this? Now, I say that with a little bit of reluctance, because in speaking with the seller, did they mention anything? That's how you found out about the attorney and everything, right? So they're good as far as that's concerned. And the reason I'm saying this is because don't want the attorney to all of a sudden find out there's something there that he didn't know about. Like, you don't want to, you know, raise a flag on something that he wasn't aware of, especially if it has to do with assets, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you might want to check with the seller first in terms of that, and get their okay to speak with their attorney to see what you can do to remove the assets out of whatever, you know, case they happen to be in, and sell the assets and fund their whatever they need to do with the attorney. You pay the attorney, buy out something, pay off mortgages, pay off debt, whatever the deal is. Find out from them and then get their permission to contact the attorney.
Okay, because see, I'm dealing with another wholesaler, so he's direct with the seller.
Oh,
Yeah.
that part.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it becomes a little different. How close are you to the other wholesaler, or did he just bring you the deal and you decided that it looked like a good deal and you were able to find a buyer for it? How did that work?
Kind of just like that. I mean, I don't know the guy real well, but I'm beginning to get to know him. But this is the first time we really did any business together.
That's cool. That's cool. It could turn into something nice. Okay. So has he what has he done in terms of talking to this seller about this? Anything?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, there's also a situation where her husband died, and she's trying to get the death certificate. So that's what she's trying to do. That, and she's also trying to find out what she can do to actually get them sold. And her sister, her auntie, or someone is helping her out. Is helping her out with it, and she's supposed to be, you know, educated in bankruptcies and all of that. I don't know what she is actually, what kind of profession she is, but she's supposed to know more about this. So that's why she's turning to her auntie, and she's kind of
Soap opera.
And the auntie is supposed to, you know, she's supposed to be educated and able to, you know, maneuver through this minefield. Is that what we're saying?
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, well, at least now you know what needs to happen. So if you can get into a conversation with the wholesaler and stay on top of it, let them know what you know what's needed as far as permissions for you to be able to extract this out of whatever holding pattern they have it in, right? Whether whether they put it in a trust or anything like that, or plan on putting it in a trust, or, you know, have some sort of protections, you know, as part of the bankruptcy. That's what you need to find out more than anything, and you need to find out right away.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Victor.
Oh, you're welcome, man. All right, so you guys, I wanted to share something with you, because I've been getting asked about it. Whenever we're on this call, you either need to be in Justin's VIP group, or you need to be with Claude's group. Those are the only two groups that actually have an invitation into the Zoom room. So starting as early as next week, we're probably going to limit, and we're going to identify who is not a member of, you know, whatever group. And, you know, we're not going to be able to let you into the room, you know, because it's really set up so that the people who are paying for memberships, either in the Real Estate Wholesalers Club with Justin Chamness, or with Claude Diamond and his Guts training system, those are the people who are supposed to be invited into the room. So if you know that you're not you know, a paying member of any one of those, you know, you can, you know, excuse yourself or whatever, but just know that probably starting next week, we're going to be real hardcore on, you know, who gets let into the room. So if we don't see you, or if you don't get let in and it's a problem, you know, you contact either Claude or Justin, and you know, we'll sort it out. I don't have any input on that whatsoever. That's not, you know, that's not my my arena. That's not my pay grade. So just want to share that like a public service announcement. So you guys, you know, you guys decide on your own. But next week, we're going to really start enforcement on that. Now, let's see what we got here. Do we have any questions?
I got a question for you, Vic.
Okay, Steve.
I used to be with Claude. I was there for a year, but now I'm no more. So does it count as someone who used to be, or do you have to actually be paying in the Claude system every week?
Yeah. From what I understand, they you know, they need you to, they want you to be a paying member of, you know, one of them.
Right.
You know, Justin's is like $49. Well, I think he just raised it to $99 or something like that. It comes with free courses and all that. I don't know if that's of value to you, but yeah, they want you to be a paying member of one of the groups, either Justin's or Claude.
Okay, so it looks like then I guess I'll leave then. It's all good then. God bless you. I'm gonna leave. Like, I'm not a paying member, so I don't want to take advantage of the system. So
hey, I appreciate the understanding, Steve. That's real big of you, man. But you know, would love to see you jump on in here, you know, some way, somehow. So, you know, we need to stay in touch. I'd love to, you know, communicate with you about, you know, some deals. I think I have some stuff in your area that you might be able to benefit from.
the system works great. I've been working the system for a year, so we've made tons of sales, doing very well. So as long as you just find out the people's emotional wants, pains, and needs are, let them try to sell themselves, ask the questions. I mean, it works great, but I don't want to take advantage of it because I'm not paying into it anymore. I quit in April. So
Okay.
I might be bringing it up back in maybe a couple months, but for right now, I don't want to. So I'm going to be a good guy and say, I'm going to hit this leave
Hey,
button. So,
but wait a minute. Before you do that, hit me on a private chat and give me your contact info.
gotcha, man.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks, Steve.
Yep.
All right, let's see. Anybody else have any questions, situations, circumstances, something they need to work on or with, or do they have a role play scenario? You got a phone call coming up with somebody who is, you know, you're a little challenged by the possibility of the scenario. And
well, Victor, I'm still waiting for you to call me back, but I'm assuming because it was your birthday, you got a bit, you were maybe intoxicated.
You see how she just comes right at me like that, Dr. Michelle.
Maybe no, I'm saying you were probably intoxicated with your birthday exuberance, right? So that's okay.
Okay,
but,
so maybe I was slightly intoxicated.
Yeah, well, with birthday exuberance, happiness, right? Yeah. But
okay, Doc.
Yeah,
so do we have something we want to work on?
Oh, it's just the one in Arizona.
Okay.
The one in Arizona. Yeah, but that's he hasn't left the house yet. So that's why I haven't really, you know, called you, you know, followed up and harassed you yet. But
okay, well, you have me now. So let's work on it. Let's see what we can do. Do you have value on it? Do you have the address and everything?
Oh gosh, I wasn't really calling. Can we not do that one now? Because I wasn't really thinking about that one for now. Yeah, because it's
So we can deal with anything you want. If you have any questions,
he's not leaving until like he's got another 10 days before he actually leaves the house anyway.
Okay.
And then we've got to do some clean up and stuff. You know what I mean? So there's a bit of time on that one. But one thing I was just going to say is that I know that Justin doesn't. He prefers not to necessarily work with realtors, but you know, everyone has their method, and I know that what's his name now, Jerry Norton does a lot with realtors. So I have been calling and speaking with some realtors, and you know, they do have a lot of deals there, and because I had a private money person who dealt with Arizona, and we kind of started working quite well together. he's actually purchasing another couple of deals in Tennessee, but
Okay.
they've come through realtors.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's a possible deal in Florida coming through a realtor as well. So just kind of to say that, you know, there are deals in a number of different places, and realtors can be useful as well.
Do you have a question, a scenario, or a role play as it relates to realtors that you maybe would like to work on? Or
Oh, well, you know, yeah, one of the things that I do,
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know if you know, I'm assuming you're used to work with realtors, Victor, right? Because you've been in the business for ages. But one of the things I say to them, and this is coming straight from the way that Jerry advises, is that you kind of offer them the double dip scenario where they can get, so you sort of ask them, oh, do you mind presenting my offer to the seller?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the first way that you're going to get them to actually even work with you, is that they will be then the quote unquote buyer's agent, and they will be able to present your offer to the seller. Now,
Right.
if it's something that is a little bit, you know, where it's a little skewed, or, you know, you need some favor in it or whatever like that, and you really need them to take you seriously, if it's a flip property, something like that, then you always allow them to also list the property on the back end. So let's say it's a fix and flip. Those are easy because they'll normally will get to you before they go on the MLS, because
Exactly.
the way it works is a lot of the brokers, they're not going to let you put junk on the MLS. Like, they don't want to be represented by junk properties on the MLS. They don't want to be viewed that way. It's very important to them. And then a lot of it too, some of the properties, they don't qualify to even be sold, you know, under regular circumstances. Like, they need a lot of work. They need a lot of repairs. You're not even sure if the appraisal is going to support what it is that you're looking for. So there's some money that needs to be spent on the upfront in order to get these properties ready to for the marketplace. The opportunity often comes where the people who are looking to sell these properties, they don't have the money to do the repairs. They don't have the resources, and they just need to get out, but it's a trash house, right? It's not a house you necessarily want to put on listing. So what a realtor will do first is they'll call their personal list of buyers, people who they've dealt with, investors who they know in the area, and you basically want to be in that conversation, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So now, now you purchased a property that needs repairs. You go in, you do the repairs, or, you know, you sell it to somebody who's going to do the repairs, however you decide to do it. But now you have a relationship, and if you sell the listing, I mean, if you sell the contract as a wholesale deal, you want to be, you know, built into the contract or something where it protects the realtor so that they, you know, are able to benefit from both sides. The main thing you're trying to do here is extract a relationship that's going to be ongoing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Especially if there are players in the game.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I managed to link up with a chap originally from New York, but he's now in Orlando, and even though the listing that he had, we kind of said, okay, it's not going to work for me or for him, you know, me buying it through him, that particular one, just because of the numbers weren't going to work. However, there are a couple of other deals that could possibly work in a creative sense. And so that was quite good. So he's already given me one, which, I don't know, I'll talk to you about that one offline. I don't think the numbers are going to work on it anyway, because I think she's going to have to short sale it. But that was interesting. And then just another interesting thing, this is something that I maybe saw years ago but didn't even click really. But on Zillow and on Redfin, you have a category that says upcoming or you know,
where that's where an agent has got an agreement, but it's not listed yet. It's not on the MLS yet. You know, they put it out there sort of, and it's sort of has a date because maybe the seller needs to move out after a certain time, or they need to get some repairs finished or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, that
but
kind
that
of way.
upcoming category, that's where I found like these potential deals, because it's like, oh, you know, I guess a lot of people don't look in the upcoming category necessarily. So that was just interesting.
It's worth the conversation. It's worth the conversation, right? It's worth a phone call and say, look, you know, I see you have this one coming up, you know, why don't you just list it right now? Is there, you know, something going on with the property, or is it a possibility that maybe, you know, if the price is right, I can go ahead and take it off your hands right now. I'll wait for them to move if I need to.
Yeah, but you know, but the two in Tennessee, they just went before going, you know, going on the listing, MLS listing properly. So there's obviously a lot that goes before hitting the MLS properly anyway, that, you know, that on date.
Yeah, they, you know, there's something going on. Obviously, you know, you would have to ask some questions and find out about, you know, what's really happening or whatever. But, you know, usually it's not a huge motivator most of the time. It's simply a timeline that works for the seller, because they're moving, or they're waiting for another house to be finished or whatever, right? But, you know, it's all worth the conversation.
Yeah.
It's all worth the conversation. If you see it, if it tickles your fancy, if it feels like something you should make a call on, then that's exactly what you should do. Is you should make a call on it. You know, if you see an opportunity there. Now, you know, I guess the bad part about that particular scenario would be that if it's pending, it's probably pending at full price, and they probably already have, you know, valued it out as far as the comps and stuff that they have. So you're probably not looking at a deal in terms of price, but it still may be a deal in terms of structure.
Some and some not. Some are comped out.
That's always going to be the case. Some will, some won't.
Yeah, full price and overpriced, and they just obviously just click past those ones. But there are some that are obviously under price, well, at least under the Zestimate. Yeah. And then you think, okay, well, what's going on here? Maybe these ones are worth a call.
Yeah, and that's basically how you do it. The conversation with realtors. So, just to expand on that a little bit, when you're looking for a realtor, you eventually, ideally, would like to get to the biggest hitter in any office that you go to. But obviously, they're also the most difficult, because there's a certain level of arrogance and stature that starts to become part of, you know, who they are. They're having success. If you have success in the real estate game, you automatically gain some stature and some notoriety, because that's what it takes to be successful in the real estate game, right? You have to be out there. People have to know who you are. You're a mover and a shaker at some point when you start doing, you know, those really impressive numbers like that. So they're the hardest to get to, unless you bring them something, right? If you can bring them something, like, you know, a potential listing, offer to do some work for them in the area, offer to be their boots on the ground, but you absolutely have to bring value. You can't just come and say, look, you know, I want to work with you. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for years. Yeah, probably is not going to be the thing that gets you in. So the next thing to do would be to get in with someone who is hungry, someone who's relatively new to the game, but they keep showing up everywhere, right? They're not producing a lot of numbers. This is how it looks like when you're in the beginning of your career. You don't see a whole lot of numbers right away, but you know, you're hustling, you're paying your dues. Those people are really, really good, because they will go out there and work. And if they can make some money right up front, and you can put some money in their pocket quickly, yeah, those are the ones, you know, you want to talk to. And it's like, and a typical conversation would be, look, you know, my name is Victor. I am a real estate investor, and I also, you know, look to build my portfolio in your area. I understand that you know, that you're having a lot of success in your area, and I was thinking maybe we should partner up or at least have a conversation. Is that something we can do? They'll typically say, well, you know, yeah, because they don't have nothing else to do, right? They're still hustling for their numbers. Okay, so the way I work is I obviously look for deals, and I look for deals, you know, in good situations. Sometimes I rehab those deals, and I need to move them. So what I like to do is find a relationship that will allow me to give you all of the deals that I have, and you know, you and I can work together. You can make your money on deals that don't even look like they're going any place. I just want to be one of the people, the first person that gets notified whenever it is that you have a deal that may be questionable. Is that something we can do, or maybe not? Right? So every realtor has questionable deals. But also, a lot of them will say to you, well, no, I sell all of my deals. Sure you do. The only people that do that are the people who sell, you know, who do 5 or 6 deals a year, and they get all their deals by referrals because they've been in the community forever. Everybody else gets crap deals that they got to move somewhere or another. Shell houses, burn houses. You know, if you're out there in the marketplace all the time, you run across all kind of stuff. So you want to create a relationship so that they will now start seeing you as somebody who might be able to move those properties for them and still allow them to get paid. And that conversation is always about, you know, you getting paid. I want to make sure that you get paid. How much does your broker normally charge? Is he, you know, are you on a 100% split, or, you know, how do you work? How can we maximize your income? You start talking to me like that, you got my attention, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I said was as well that that if there's anything that you can't shift and it needs something a bit more creative, then let me know. And they were like, oh, you could do something creative. And I said, yeah, you know, just let me have a look at it. And if I can work on it, then I'll let you know. And then obviously I'll make sure you get your cut. And then we can, you know, hopefully build a relationship in that way. And to be honest,
that's great. That's awesome. So give us an idea what your follow-up will look like for this person.
Oh, we're kind of, you know, we've kind of already developed the relationship in terms of, you know, talking about other things, just life things. And then he called me. I actually need to call him back today.
When I say follow up, so the reason why I asked you that is that a lot of the times we want to leave follow up to chance, right? Like, you know, we'll get back with them when we get back with them. And, you know,
he's already sent me a deal. He already sent me something. So to be honest, I'm supposed to be doing a contract for a particular property. But I need to speak to him about some of the numbers because they don't look quite right. So we've already gone into a transaction.
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm speaking in general as far, and congratulations on that relationship as well. Good for you, great job. But what I was referring to was just generally there is going to be a follow-up process, because I notice I do it, and I know that most people do it. We create a relationship, we have a conversation, we talk about a few things, and then they kind of, you know, go away.
Dissipate. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we really want to start making sure that we have a process of following up with them. And if you use something like REI Reply or whatever system that you use, you definitely want to have a campaign that continues to follow up with them on a regular basis. And ideally, the campaign will include, you know, something that they can use. You know, like if you find out or you see an article about a new mall that's being built or a new housing tract that's coming or that has been approved or anything like that. And just drop it on them consistently, letting them know that one, you're in the game, and two, that they're on your mind and that you are absolutely want to do some business. If you have
that's a good idea.
If you have something like a follow-up system like that, then it's automatic. But you definitely want to get them on some sort of follow-up system. They need to know that you're there, because it could be a while before you actually do a deal together. Dr. Michelle is fortunate in that, they're starting to do a deal early on in their relationship, but it doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes you don't get a deal from this person, till sometime down the road. And then you have to be careful that they're not playing the trash game with you. The trash game basically is they can't sell it anyway. It's a piece of crap. It's got a whole bunch of just sticking points to the deal. And now they want to, have you bail them out of the situation. And I don't even know if they want you to bail them out as much as they want to prove that you don't know what you're doing. And they play games like that. It's very ego driven. So be careful. All that glitters ain't gold. If they send you something, do a quick analysis, figure out what your questions are going to be. Obviously, there are going to be questions about title and the actual physical structure. Those are going to be the two very important things when you're dealing with the realtor, right? And then the rest is going to be the motivation. Why? Why are they doing this? Why is this a deal? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All the things that we cover, in our regular phone call stuff. The same information has to be gathered. But be careful when you get random deals, because I hate to say, but many times it's just an attempt to expose you, as something less than you are. Right? And now, you're being played. So be very careful with that. It's a common practice, because there's a lot of us out there in the marketplace right now calling people saying, we want, to work with you. We want deals or whatever. And a whole lot of them aren't very well trained. They don't know how to talk on the phone, and they're actually becoming just a real pest to the realtors. So the realtors themselves turn around and play games with them.
Yeah, I think, for me, it was more about establishing at least a couple of good, solid relationships than many. Yeah, which is why, even like when you said about the follow-up system, well, I don't even know if I'd go into that, because I'm not really thinking of having, 10, 20, 30, 40, like 100 realtors. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe, what would you think? Did you have so many realtors at your disposal? Or do you just have a couple that you have deep relationships with?
I just work with a few, and I probably dismiss more realtors than I actually work with. So in other words, I'm looking to get rid of them more than they're looking to get rid of me.
Yeah.
If they think that they're, God's gift to real estate, and, I'm fortunate to be, that's not really the relationship that I want with them. Unless there's such a player that I decide, I'll prove it to them down the road, but I really want to get in with these people. So, that's the deal. But anyway, you're welcome. Thanks, Dr. Michelle. So has anybody else been doing the realtor thing, or what kind of marketing have you been doing to try to source your deals? Robert, you're relatively new. Robert Ware, what are you doing right now, my friend, to try to source deals? What are you working with?
This is my first week, third day. So what I've been doing is on Zillow. I have a software. I just have to, get that going as far as generating leads.
Scraping?
As far as scraping. Yeah. So
okay.
Right now, just Zillow. Okay. I did a couple calls with the group earlier this morning, the first session. So, just trying to get the ball rolling.
Okay. Any particular methodology that sort of speaks to you, you know, whether it be lease options, direct discount wholesale deals, JV deals? Does any of that make sense to you, or you're kind of still trying to navigate those waters?
The co-wholesaling and the JV and like you mentioned, the direct wholesaling, I got the grasp of it. The lease option, that's why I said I'll try to come to all 3 sessions. That's so I can hear you guys talk about it more. That's the one I'm not grasping right now. As far as putting together numbers, you know, like terms and as far as that part.
Okay, yeah, and you know, there's no shortcut to that. It's just a matter of looking at a bunch of deals and having a lot of conversations had, you know, through you or around you about structure. Like I don't know a way to really speed that up because it doesn't make sense till it makes sense, right? Like you have no idea why somebody would sell you their house subject to their existing loans and put you on title and do all that. Like logically, a lot of that doesn't even make sense. Like you might think to yourself, I would never do that. But people are buying houses like that every single day using that same exact methodology, right? So in order to understand when to do that, it's just a matter of having enough conversations, understanding what underlying motivation would allow you to do that and what circumstances would allow you to do that. How much equity is in the house? What is their timeline for getting this deal done? There's a lot of factors that go into it, right? Do they want to are they sure they want to collect all this money at one time? Right? Because a lot of people don't realize that, you know, it's a windfall for you. If it's a windfall for you and you're in particular areas of the country, you're going to get like triple taxation on that money. You're going to get it, you know, taxed as state income, as federal income, as capital gains. There's just a lot of ways that you know you could lose on this deal. So if you educate them a little bit, now they might be looking at, oh, wow, you know, I don't want that to happen. And you're saying that with your system, I'll actually end up making more than I'm even asking for the property. And you'll like all of this right now to you is just kind of like pieces. But as you stay in the game, all of a sudden it'll just go clunk. And it'll all sort of make sense. So just, you know, just gather information, listen, take your notes, and when you have specific questions that you want to ask, we're always here to answer your questions, support you. There's a lot of people on the line that are doing this on a consistent and regular basis. And, you know, this, you know, I'm a full-time investor, is how I make my money. So there's a whole bunch of us that are going to be able to support you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Robert. Appreciate you chiming in, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? Anybody doing anything, you know, spectacular that they're excited about? Any marketing campaigns that seem to be producing results that you're you know excited about? Anything
Victor,
like that?
I got one for you. So this is I'm Chris. I'm actually one of Claude's students.
Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Good. I literally just got off the phone with somebody during this call. It was a follow-up. It was a postcard from about 3 years ago on probate.
Okay.
And he's getting ready to sell. He's almost at the end of probate. And the conversation, it's pretty complicated. He's got a bit of a hoarder house, so he's still living in the house.
Okay.
I went over there the other day. He's got a $94,000 HELOC he has to pay off that's coming due the end of the month. And there's another investor involved in the deal. So I just talked to him before, and they supposedly are going to help him out, and they have a better offer, but he doesn't know what the offer is yet. They're just saying they're going to get him his price, which I don't believe at all. I've done the comps on it, and there's no way in hell that they could do his price.
Yeah.
So thought we might just go through that role play with another investor involved in the deal, with offering the seller a ridiculously high price after I gave him the offer, and just see how I handle it and any recommendations on the call.
Okay, okay. So do you know anything about this other investor at all?
I know nothing about the other investor. Yeah, for all I know, the other investor could be a phantom.
Got it, got it. He could just be throwing it out there just to try to get you to give him a little bit more, or move in a direction that he wants you to.
Exactly. I think they're real from the conversation we had. I don't think he's making this up, but they could be a phantom as well.
Okay, all right. So let's do a quick role play. What do you want me to play?
So you could play the seller. I'll be the buyer. I'm going to make you the offer.
Okay.
And so you want 700,000 for the house.
Okay.
The house in reality and the condition it's in, I mean, it's got a ton of trash in it. If you just wanted to pop it back on the market, you would probably need to buy it somewhere in the mid 500s somewhere. Okay. Clean everything out and then not do much at all and put it back on the market. So the fact that the other investor is offering near $700,000 doesn't make any sense.
And he has a 94K HELOC that is due, so you can't do a subject to on it.
That's correct.
Okay, because that absolutely has to be paid off.
Yeah, and he needs to find housing as well. There's a lot of moving parts here.
Okay, so he needs to find housing. Does he wants to stay in the area?
He does want to stay in the area. He's got a budget of 400 to 500 to find a place. So that needs to be incorporated into the price.
400 to
500,000 to find a new condo to live in.
Okay. Okay. I'll ask you some questions about that, or you can ask me some questions about that, because I'm not really sure when you say, so he needs to pull out 400 to 500,000 in order to do his next move.
Yeah, in order to get a place that he wants to move into in the area, he needs between 400 and 500.
Is he paying cash for it?
He wants to pay cash for it. Yeah, he's not going to be able to get financed. He's retired and somewhat disabled.
Retired and disabled. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's do the conversation.
Hey, Victor, it's Christian. I had a chance to do some comparables on that property the other day. You have about 5 minutes?
Sure, Christian.
Great. So taking a look, I came up with a couple of options, Victor. Because you told me you wanted 700,000 for the house, and I want to get you as close as I can for that house. But in buying the house from you in cash without any contingencies, helping you find another place and no commission or anything to me or no repairs. I mean, I need to be able to buy the house at a bit of a discount from that 700 to enable me to make some money after I do the repairs to it. So with that being said, I mean, I would need to be closer to that around 500 somewhere to buy the house. And I know that's pretty far off from your price. Like I said, it would be a cash sale. We'd help you find a place to move to. I know you're looking for like 400 to 500 to move into a new place. And we get that home equity line paid off by the end of the month. I mean, is that anything we could even talk about, Victor, or is that just off the table?
Well, I don't know about that price, Christian, to be quite honest with you. That, that's a little bit low. I have another guy who is offering me, full price for the property at 700,000. And he's made that offer to me. And I think I need to do something closer to that amount.
Yeah, Victor, no, I completely understand that. You told me that from day one. You need to be near that 700,000. And that's why I came up with another option. I was thinking about this pretty hard. I knew you needed more money. So have you talked to a realtor about listing this property? I mean, it's going to need to be cleaned out a little bit, which I can help you with. But have you thought about doing that?
Yeah, I actually talked to a couple of realtors, and they were willing to list it, but yeah, I had a little work I needed to do first.
Okay. Well, I'm looking in the area, Victor. I know that the 700, we're going to try to get you as close to that as possible with one of these options. My option's off the table because that doesn't work. But I mean, I'm looking at this property here, 655. It's kind of like your property after it's cleaned out. So, I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable to list with an agent after it's cleaned out and try for that 655. I mean, the only issue with that is you got some fuses in that electrical panel, and you get a buyer in there that's going to move in themselves. Sometimes that's a problem with insurance or financing, but you could take a shot and see if you could get maybe that 655 price with an agent after you pay him a commission. I could help you.
Okay, so let me take you off the role play right now.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go in here like you need this property. And right now you're kind of justifying and validating for him, you know, what you can do for him, and he's basically holding all the cards.
Yeah.
Consider that you know, let's kind of turn it around a little bit, and I'll be the buyer, and I'll try a couple of little different things, and you tell me, you know, how effective you think they would be compared to going in there and sort of like, you know, look, there's a whole bunch of things like this, because you're kind of diminishing your position of strength. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, Victor.
Okay, good. So hello, Christian.
Hey, Victor.
Hey, Christian. Hey, look, I was giving you a call back on the property, and I'm looking at a few things, man. I think the most important thing that I'm looking at is, you know, we're working on a real tight timeline here. Did I hear correctly when you said the $94,000 has to be paid back by the end of the month?
Yeah, that's right, Victor.
Okay, so here's what I'd like to do, Christian. I'd like to have a conversation with you about what we can do on this property today, and I'd like to have this conversation have a ending today. In other words, if we can come up with a deal that makes sense to you, is this something you're ready to do right now? Because it looks to me like the clock is ticking. I could be off on that though. I know.
Yeah, I need to get this loan paid off. And like I said, once this is out of probate, I want to find myself a new place and sell this place.
When it's out of probate.
Yeah, it's still.
So you're the administrator with all the rights in order to be able to transfer this property?
That's right.
Okay, and you have clearance from the judge. It's okay for you to sell this property.
We're almost at that point.
Okay, and how long before we get to that point? Because it sounds like you have converging trains here.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I need to get rid of this equity line, and it looks like it's going to be in the near future, but I'm trying to get in touch with the lawyer as to when that date's going to be.
Wow. Does the bank know that you're currently dealing with an attorney and a probate situation?
No, I haven't talked to him. I should really give him a call, but I haven't talked to him about that.
Okay, so we just identified a couple of issues that may in fact put you in a bad situation, Christian, and I would hate to see this happen to you, because you mentioned about having somebody in the kitchen with us, you know, trying to offer you something else, but they haven't come to the table with anything. I would hate to see you come up to the last minute and have this fantasy about somebody paying you in excess of what we both know the property in its current condition is worth. So if I can come up with the numbers that make sense to you today, is this something we can do today, Christian, or is this, are you going to need more time to make a decision? Because I frankly need to buy a house in your area in the next 24 to 48 hours. And I'm going to buy one, and I hope it's yours.
Yeah, no, I'll do this today, Victor. I need to get enough money to pay off that equity line, get myself a new place, and then put a little bit in my pocket. Okay, let's talk about your new place. How much would it take for you to get a new place? Are you looking to try to buy a new place, or are you looking to rent? How is this going to work for you? No, I'm looking to buy.
Okay, and what's it going to take?
It's $400,000 to $500,000.
Okay, so I'll be quite honest with you, Christian. I don't even know if that's possible. By the time I back out the $94,000 that we're going to need for that HELOC, and I'm looking at a value right now in its current condition for the property, something closer to $550. So now we're already down to about $450 to you if we could just cash this out completely. And I don't even know if that's possible. Let me ask you, do we have any alternatives on your moving situation? Can we talk about maybe just a down payment that you can make, or maybe something a little bit less pricey? And I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but is that a conversation we can have, or maybe not?
Yeah, well, it's going to have to be in cash, because I'm not going to be able to get finance for this. I mean, I haven't really looked out of the area. It's kind of where I want to stay, and that's where the 400 to 500 came from.
Okay, I get that. Okay, so let me just see if I can size this whole thing up. We're in a probate situation. We still need to get certain permissions in regards to that probate. We have a loan coming down the pipe that has to be paid by the end of the month. We haven't communicated yet with, a number of parties that would need to be communicated with, and you have not yet located your next property. Am I correct in all that?
That's right, Victor.
Okay, all right. So I'll be honest with you, Christian. I don't know if this is something that I can actually do for you. I'm pretty certain, the $400,000 to $500,000 that you need. If I could pull that off for you, it would take a little bit of work. But let's say we were paying off the $94K, and I'm looking right now at probably, how much do you think it's going to take to get this house, back to livable condition, or better yet, to a fully rehab 2021 standard? What kind of money do you think that would take?
I don't know. I mean, Victor, you're the rehabber here.
Okay, so you haven't had a chance to take a look at it.
No, I don't know how much.
Okay, so the reason I mentioned that, Christian, is because I am actually a rehabber. And I do actually know what the cost of some of these things are. So I don't want you to feel like I'm lowballing you or that I'm disrespecting you in any way. But right now we're in a situation where the cost of getting this property in the shape that we need it to be in. It's going to be a lot more, especially with COVID and everything and the increase in prices. So I'll bottom line this for you. I can pay off your $94,000 HELOC, and I could probably put $300,000 cash in your pocket, which would take me out at about $394. Let's just round it up to a solid $400, and I could get you cash for this property and get this done in time for you to avoid both of those trains that are coming down the track. Is that something we can do, or maybe not?
Yeah, I mean, Victor, the other guy is going to offer me almost 700. So,
well, I'm going to go ahead and let him offer you the 700, Christian. And here's why: is because I really want to help you, but every minute that goes by, it looks like these trains are getting closer, the lights are getting bigger, and something is going to give. If you don't have something in writing from this other buyer, investor, whoever it is, that if you don't have something in writing right now, understand that you're still dealing with the timelines associated with closing your escrow, getting your title company to make sure that the title is free and clear. If in fact there's been some issues up to this point, it's very likely that you're going to run into some difficulty. So you're running up against a timeline that is going to work not just against you, but against me. So, despite the fact I want to help you, the best I can do is 400,000. Is that something we can do today, or are you going to pass on this and wait for someone else, understanding that I may in fact not be able to do this deal because I'm going to buy a property in your area, and I'd like for it to be yours, but obviously like you said, I'm an investor. I know the cost of these things. I'm not going to be able to meet you at that price point.
Yeah, I mean, Victor, I'm gonna have to wait till Friday. I mean, he said he can get me that 94K if we talk about it on Friday and we come up with a deal that works.
If he doesn't come up with it on Friday, what happens next for you and I?
Oh, if he doesn't come up on Friday, we could talk again about it.
Okay, if he doesn't come through on Friday, will you call me on Saturday?
Yeah, I'll give you a call on Saturday.
If I'm still in position and liquid, I may still be up for this deal. But give me a call on Saturday, and we can figure out what else is next. But in the meantime, Christian, I just want to wish you a lot of luck on this, man. But I'm here. I'm able to do it, but I just can't meet you at that price point. That's not going to happen under the circumstances.
Okay. That sounds good, Victor. Yeah, I'll give you a call on Saturday if it doesn't work out, but this guy seems pretty serious.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let him, because if you can win at that price point, then you should win. And good luck to you. Okay.
All right, Victor. Thanks.
All right. So we have Claude joining us, so he'll probably be able to jump in here a little bit as well and do some things. But anybody have any comment, any feedback, anything with that? Because understand, guys, we're investors. We need to get this deal at a price that we like. It needs to be in a condition that's actually sellable, or we need to make sure that we finance whatever we need to do to get it sellable into our deal. So we can't just give away the fort and, just because, I want to sell it. This guy is on a motivation scale. He's right in the middle of the park. He still thinks he has hope, even though we've identified the fact that there's 2 trains coming down the track getting ready to run his behind over. But he's still kind of out of reality. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to jerk his chain a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He wants to wait till Friday. So do you understand where the lack of motivation, or even his lack of the grasp of his situation is right now? And if he can't grasp it, if he's not going to cooperate with me, if he's going to think that he has all these other opportunities, then I don't have the position that I want yet. I need to have a certain position with this guy in order to make sure that I can get what I need at the price point that I need, and that he has a certain understanding. In a situation like this, with all of the minefields associated with this, I may pay a little bit more than $400,000, but not much more.
I like the story up front, Victor. That was much better. It wasn't rushed into the price. It was identifying the needs and greeds at that point, and then offering.
Yeah, because I want you to tell me all of the stuff that can go wrong. I want you to hear it for yourself. Because it's one thing for me to tell you that all this stuff can go wrong, right? But it's a whole nother thing when you verbalize it. Now it becomes a little more real to you, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and so if there's any coaching there, that's what I would make sure that he realizes his circumstances, and that you are his last hope, and that you are only going to be his last hope for a prescribed period of time. I don't have a whole bunch of time to waste with you. I'm buying a house in your neighborhood in the next 24 to 48 hours. Either poop or get off the pot, yo.
And then what do you think? You don't get a call back on Saturday?
On to the next one. I may send him a text or whatever, but I'm not chasing this guy.
Okay.
I'm not chasing this guy. If he's not willing to cooperate, understand we buy on motivation. Everything else is just filling. Motivation is our primary identifier of an opportunity. If it's not there, or if it's convoluted and somebody thinks they have a bunch of other options, then it's not my turn yet.
Yeah, the other thing too that I probably should have done, and I think I did a little bit on the call, is to seed some doubt that this other person is really serious. That's what I was trying to get to too, to get him to understand that if somebody's offering you that price, they're probably going to renegotiate the contract with you at some point.
Yeah, I tend not to have conversations about other people. I don't know this person.
Right.
You know,
That's
like
what I'm
I
trying
don't
to
know anything
avoid.
about this other guy. So, you know, if the guy comes through, great. You know, good for you, Christian. Get your money, man. And I hope it all works out wonderfully or whatever. But I can't buy on those terms, you know. But more than likely, I feel pretty confident that guy is not coming through. He's coming through with BS. Right. And I'll be here to pick up the pieces at my price point because now the train is in my favor.
Yep. No,
Right.
absolutely
That train
right.
is closer. That light is huge. He getting ready to get ran over. Let me get you out of this, but I got to do it quickly. And, you know, here's the price that I can't do it at 500,000, but I could definitely do it at 400,000. I could get it done for you in the next 10 days and get you out of this.
Yeah, it's good.
Now I got a sellable deal. Right.
Yeah, agreed.
Claude said scarcity and social proof are key psychological strategies when negotiating. Absolutely. And that's what we're pulling into the equation. Learn that from him. Claude, feel free to jump in here if you're not busy.
I'm not busy, but I'm just enjoying listening to you. I'm just sitting back. I love this. This is motivating to me.
You've created a monster.
Thank you. You know what? We need more good monsters in the world.
Right.
You know, we have to change our mindset. Everything you're talking about is really about us changing our concept, our mindset, mindset of doing business. If we just go to the prospect, we sound like everyone else. We act subservient, submissive. We don't set firm dates or time frames or anything. Why are we surprised when they don't show up or they don't treat us nicely or they reject us or they lie and manipulate? Why are we so surprised at their behavior when we play a role of, you know, the book, Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesperson?
Yes.
I don't recommend I don't like that book, by the way. I find it very depressing.
It is depressing.
You know, because what kind of salesperson is Willie Loman in that book?
Yeah.
Has anyone here read it?
Yeah, he's passive. He's basically a beggar.
He's a beggar. And you know, it's so depressing because everybody's manipulating and lying to him. And I've been there, and we've all been there.
Yeah.
What happens when we take on a role of a millionaire mindset, of an expert, of a true, you know, we say we're supposed to, well, I'm a professional. How does a professional act? Sir, Mr. Walker, I want to do a deal with you today, but if you don't want to do this, tell me no. I've got 10 other phone calls to make. Someone's going to make I'm going to do a deal today.
Yeah.
I'd love to do it with you, but if you're not ready, if you're not comfortable, just tell me. I'd rather get a fast no than a reluctant maybe.
Ooh, a fast no than a reluctant maybe.
Yeah. You know what? If you can't make a decision, sir, I can. Let's say it's over. Listen, I don't want you to, you have a problem, sir. You want to buy a home, sell a home. You want to invest in a property. And I'd like to do either cash or terms or a lease purchase or a subject to with you today. I'd like to do business. What do you need from me for us to make a commitment right now, Mr. Walker? Can I call you Victor? I'm Claude.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you need from me?
I'm trying to get my price, man. I need to move. I'm not going to have no good credit after this. Everything is tight. I just need to get my price.
You know what? And how long you been trying to sell this, sir, if you don't mind me asking?
A couple of months.
Okay. Why? Let me ask you something. We're in a pretty hot market right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the great Soviet socialist state of Southern California, correct?
I am.
Okay, this is the hottest market. We have a shortage of inventory, and you are the only guy who hasn't got his price. Why do you think? You're a smart young man. Tell me, why do you think that's occurred?
I don't
What am I doing to Victor? Off the role play now. What am I doing to Victor?
You're forcing him to think about his situation.
Michelle, why don't you turn on your video? I want to see a pretty young woman.
She never turns on her video.
Oh, because
I put on my makeup and combed my bouffant for you, so come on. I want to see. I like videos. I like seeing faces. That's the whole point of Zoom, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
Next time, I promise.
Okay. Why? Who should be doing? Here's the thing. This is your takeaway moment.
Yeah.
Make the prospect do all the work.
Yeah.
You know what I love about the gut sales method? It's so damn honest. Hey, you haven't sold it in 6 months in a really hot market. What do you think it is? Just bad luck, bad realtors? What's going on here, really?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't really want to sell a home. This is just a fishing expedition, right? You don't really want to. Where are you going to live? You don't want to sell your home, right?
Yeah.
Keep asking those questions and make them do force them to talk.
Yeah.
Have we all met the guy or girl who goes, nope, yes, okay? We've all met that person,
worst
right?
phone call ever.
Yeah, it's hard.
Oh,
and this is where make them talk more than you, and listen and take your notes and you're going to get a little nugget of information. Usually the dam bursts and they'll say, well, to tell you the truth, or I want to be honest with you. Do you ever hear that when they all of a sudden they just abruptly come out with something like that? What do you think psychologically? What do you think that is, Victor, when they just say, well, Victor, let me just tell you the truth? What do you think that really is?
That's when you connected with them. That's when they feel like, okay, this person, is listening, they care, they want to help me, and they have the capacity to. Like all these realizations sort of hit all at the same time. And you're like, you know what? I need to get out of this problem. Look, help me, please.
Yeah. And then what I usually do, one of my key strategies, I get them talking and you get a guy, I want my price. Okay. Well, it depends on the thing. Is it a free and clear property? Is it overfinanced? You need to know. And that's how you determine. You got to think on your feet. This is a thinking person's business. Do I offer cash, but with a discount and then assign it, wholesale it? Do I go into consultant mode? Hey, I can help you solve this problem because you don't want to touch it. Or do you do something creatively? Do you do a lease purchase? Hey, listen, I'll give you a full price, but if you how about you hold the mortgage for 5 years? I'll pay you interest only payment. I'll give you 8% interest, Mr. Walker, and 5 years with a balloon, and I'll give you 8% interest if we can do a deal right now. And I'll give you your price and I'll pay the closing costs. You ready to deal or no deal, sir?
Well, in this case, I need my money to purchase my other property because I'm not going to be able to.
Why don't you take my note and sell? You could take my note and sell it to somebody else. Why don't you refinance the property? Or I'll tell you what, your property's free and clear, right?
No, I have a 94K line of credit that's coming due.
Okay. Okay. Tell you what, how much cash do you want?
I need 400 to 500K in order to buy my next place.
Okay. So, and would you be willing to discount this property 18% to get all cash?
What does that represent in dollars? I don't know.
That represents 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That would $76,000. I don't know. I'm using fingers and toes.
Yeah, that's fine. And
that would make your property 322,000 instead of 400,000. And I can give you all cash. I can call up my attorney. We can get this thing rocking and rolling right now. And you got your cash. So I can give you full price if you want to wait for your money and you'd like an annuity, a payment every month.
Yeah. That's just not going to give me enough. Just not going to give me enough to work with. And I got another guy who sounds like he's pretty serious that's willing to give me, the full 700 that I'm asking for.
Oh, okay. Why didn't you take the offer then? That's a great offer. Why didn't you take it on the spot? I don't understand.
Well, he hasn't gotten any paperwork over to me yet.
Okay. Why do you think that's occurred?
I don't know.
There's an old Southern expression, don't pee on my back and tell me it's raining.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Off the role play. And let's say for argument's sake, there's no way I can do a deal with you. We can't do subject to, we can't subordinate your loan to I just worked on a deal the other day, a subordination where we're going to put a loan in second place, buy the property and refinance it, give the owner cash, and I get some cash too.
Oh,
out
nice.
of the deal. That's a something for another. That's for like a
Yeah,
Monday
yeah.
group call or something.
Right.
Say I can't do the deal. There's no way I'm not going to do the deal. I'm still going to stay in this for one good reason. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect. And you know what? Maybe I'll do a follow-up with you in a week or two or a month. And maybe you'll change your mind or your tune. Do people change their minds sometimes?
Yeah, they absolutely do. And that's why I say I close with, you know, if you don't get a call on Friday, what happens on Saturday?
Yeah.
Because that train is barreling down on you right now. So, I'll look for your call.
Did you ever do when you're getting off the phone, you've made an offer, but there's nothing there. Did you ever do the regrets close? Do you know that one? Go ahead if you want. We can do that one.
You go ahead. I mean, my only regrets closes is oh man, I really wanted to do a deal with you because I really wanted to solve your problem. Is this over? I mean, I hate to think that this is over because this is, it's almost breaking my heart.
I love the way you did that. The guilt, you did the mother close, the guilt close.
The guilt close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must have had a Jewish mother too, right?
Not quite, but
all moms, I don't care.
All moms have a particular quality, right?
Okay. When I say the regret close, I turn it around. Say, Victor, it was a pleasure speaking with you. I'm going to send you a follow-up letter and a little gift. But you know what? I get this feeling when we get off the phone. Can I be totally transparent with you for 1 second before I get off?
Yeah, please do.
I think you're going to have regrets. Why do I feel that way?
I don't know why you feel that way.
Maybe it's just me. Okay, the 60s were good to me. Listen, I have a feeling we're going to get off this phone and you're going to say to yourself, you know that? I met a straight guy in a pretty crazy world. And he wanted to offer me cash or wanted to give me full price. And maybe I should have listened. Maybe I should have taken that offer or something.
That's good. At least plant the seed in their minds, and have them consider the regret that's possible if they don't, in fact, come through. And because they're clear, they're out there on the very, very thin branches, and it's going to break any minute now. If they don't get that phone call, their ass is done. And so I'm gonna bank on it to get my price and my terms.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Guts 2.0 is about the power of suggestion, leaving an image, a story, something in their mind when you get off the phone. Did you ever have something, it's just going around, it's emotional, and it just goes around and around in your head? You can't get a bad experience, a confrontation, a bad song. Do you ever have something in your head and it just keeps playing over and over again?
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want us to almost plant a suggestion, plant a story, hypnotize this prospect so that when they get off this phone and they're thinking, wow, maybe, I don't know, maybe I did.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have done something with that guy. Maybe he wasn't crazy at all after all. And then they get an email or a video email from you. And you're still in the game. You're still fighting. Yeah. Thank you, Sean. Sean Osby, where's that handsome face? Where are you? He's at work. He might not be able to turn on the video right now.
Yeah, but he shows up all the time though.
Oh,
he's gonna win. He's gonna win because he ain't gonna never stop.
Sean is the answer man. Sean is like a walking encyclopedia,
Yeah.
Me, I just have trivia. Okay, but Sean, that's one smart guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? Because he complimented you so vehemently. That's what made him smart.
You'll never get into trouble stroking and nurturing people if you're a good enough actor.
There you go. Hey, you guys. Hey, thank you so much, Claude. Really appreciate you chiming in and bringing value. Appreciate the support that you show me all the time. Thank you so much for that.
You're great, man. We're so grateful that you do this every Wednesday. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Claude. Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Yeah, take care. Everybody else, you guys, I'll be here. We'll be here again next Wednesday. I want to just acknowledge all of you guys who, you know, continuously show up and show out, especially those of you turn your cameras on, like Alan Bryan. You know, he just knows he's good looking, so he does it so that, you know, he can get out there in the world. And then, you know, Robert Ware, he over there with his cool self, taking in all that he can. Yeah, you're welcome, Rick. Thanks for showing up, my friend. So CD, Aaron, Claude, obviously, Dr. Michelle, Ed Klasky, Jonathan, Lou Quinal, Muhammad, Robert Ware, Sean Osby, Wei Lin, and Yi Ming. Appreciate you guys all being here, and hopefully you got some value out of it. Hey, CD, I see you, my friend. How you doing?
Man, I'm good, Rick. I'm
good. Good, man. You over there knocking down them deals?
Man, I'm trying my best, bro. I'm
on it, man. You know, I'm here for you if you need any help.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man.
All right, for sure. All right, guys. You guys make it a great week, and I will see you guys again next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat station.
All right.
Thanks for the role play,
Thanks,
Victor.
Claude.
You're welcome.
Sorry,
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Have a great one.
You too.